Welcome back. Campaign Trail, episode 3. All right, so we are into the mods. I said last time we would maybe get into some of the mods, and that's what we're doing this episode. The one that I have chosen to do for our third episode is the 1984 election, which historically was between Ronald Reagan, the Republican Democrat, Walter Mondale. Those of you that don't know the history behind it, this was the most lopsided election in history. Like the only state that Walter Mondale won. I shouldn't say he won 2 states, I think. Well, he won. I did look it up before because I wanted to know what I was getting myself into, and I didn't look up like issues. I just wanted to see the results. I always knew that this was a landslide. This was before I was born, just to be clear, this election. But I always knew that Reagan won very easily in '84 in his reelection. But I didn't realize it was this extreme. The only things that Mondale won historically, he won Minnesota, which was his home state, and then he won the District of Columbia. So it was 525 to 13. Will never have. I shouldn't say never, but it can't envision that being an outcome ever again. So naturally, we're going to run as Mondale because it's I guess there would be actually, to be fair, it probably would be challenging to do as well as Reagan did. That actually might be harder than doing what I'm going to attempt to do, which is I'm going to attempt to do better than Mondale did. There's no way I'm actually going to be able to win. It just was the state of the country was just too much. I mean, people loved Ronald Reagan at this time in history. I mean, people still do love Ronald Reagan, but this time, I mean, this was, he was, people loved him. So, I'm not going to be able to win, but my goal is to do better than the 13 electoral votes that Mondale got. So, we're going to run as Democrat Walter Mondale. So, starts the campaign trailing badly. Again, he started off. I mean, this was a walkthrough essentially for Reagan, but he was elected to the vice presidency in '76. Held various statewide offices in Minnesota before then. Has won the Democratic nomination as a standard central-left liberal, holding off challenges from the right and left. So he's kind of the moderate of the two choices, I guess you could say. Starts his campaign trailing badly. And he knows he needs to make up lost ground by November. He wants to avoid a fate similar to that of his political protege, Hubert H. Humphrey. Although his opponent, Republican Ronald Reagan, has a rising approval rating, he also has vulnerabilities that Mondale can attack, such as rising crime rates and controversial economic policies. Dubbed Reaganomics is obviously is definitely a big thing there. So okay. So Geraldine Ferraro was the historical selection. We got a lot. Oh wow, we got a tremendous amount of choices. Usually we only get like 2 or 3. So she was the historical candidate from New York. Skilled reputations. Conservative Democrat. Okay, so that would be important. I see why she was the choice historically based on that description. Let's see. Dianne Feinstein, 2-term mayor of San Francisco, moderate. She would help with the female vote as well as urbanize and moderate. Geographically, she could swing California towards Mondale, possibly. 3-term senator from Texas. Yeah. He also served. Okay. current mayor of Los Angeles. So he would just he'd reinforce our view of like who we have. He would become the first black vice president in American history. So again, you got to think about the time. So you got to think about the time and place. So I don't think I mentioned this last episode. I should have. I said I would do it every episode. The choices and decisions I make are based solely on what I think is going to win the election, not necessarily what my views politically are. I don't know if this point in time the country is ready for that yet. So I don't think same thing. I don't think the country is ready for. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I don't think you're seeing some of that movement happening. Like you're seeing. Obviously, he's the mayor of San Antonio. Yeah, the Los Angeles mayor was a minority, but I don't know if the country was ready for them on that national of a level yet. John Glenn, Ohio. Centrist. That's not a bad choice. So this is another New York. Okay, so he's on the liberal end. Okay. So I should probably read all these, but I'm just kind of skimming through them. Joe Biden. Okay. That's crazy that he was considered to be a vice president that long before he actually became one. I just don't think he's going to do much to move the needle. Bill Clinton, geez, man, we got a lot of options here. I didn't know that Clinton was, I didn't realize that he was not a consecutive governor. I didn't realize he had lost and was reelected. Interesting. Okay. I did not know that. He's a moderate Democrat. Clinton's widely popular in his home state of Arkansas. He could help there as well as in the rest of the South, but he also helped Mondale with the female youth. Both Clinton is very hesitant to serve as Mondale's running mate. Okay, so I think three options we have are Ferraro, Feinstein, and Glenn. I think are the best options. So let's go through these again. So obviously Ferraro was the historical choice. Italian American and female vote. Conservative. But I can see why she was the choice. I really can. So that's the question is, do I want to go conservative or do I just want to go really appeal to the liberal base? Because again, I'm not trying to win. I'm just trying to do better than Mondale did. So it's kind of like last series where the decision to go. So last series it was Hughes versus Wilson, and my view was to be sort of like Wilson, and it didn't work. So I kind of want to try being opposite of him. I'm actually so as much as Glenn is very intriguing to me because he comes from Ohio. Ohio is obviously a swing state. I'm actually thinking Feinstein here is I think I pronounced that right. Feinstein, Diane. We're gonna pick her. So we're gonna deviate a little bit from the historical and go with her. Normal, winner take all. Normal's going to be. I can't imagine doing this on a disaster. I'm thinking that's not. Oh, there's more options here. Cakewalk, easy. We'll keep it on. We'll keep it normal. Well, see now I'm. Yeah, we'll keep it normal and see how it goes. Um. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the electoral map. See. Oh, geez. Okay. I mean, well, again, this is so believe it or not, this is actually better. As red as that is, that's actually better currently than what happened in real time, or not real time, in real world. Obviously, as I said, Mondale won Minnesota, he won DC, but at least we're starting off with some favorability in Massachusetts, some of these other states. So this, believe it or not, is better than. Oh, we got more options here. Show margin coloring. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Oh, nice. It gives us. Oh, we got more options here. Nice. Okay. So this is everything. Okay, so we're actually close, but it just he had us by some and every. Okay, so yeah, we're doing better right now than what it was um, historically. So let's look at the issues of the day: economics, foreign policy, social issues, crime, and trade. Okay. So I think, as I said, I think we're gonna go with the approach of we're just gonna go. We're not gonna even try to be. We're gonna just go very different from Reagan, and hope that there's enough liberal leanings in some of these states to get us. I think. Yeah. Okay. All right. So 30 questions this time instead of the 25. So we got to pick up the pace here. These are longer questions too. As you step onto the Moscow Center. Moscow? I don't know. Main stage in San Francisco, California. Thousands of ecstatic Democrats cheer from every corner of the hall. What will you emphasize in your speech to the convention and public in general? I will stand up for the hardworking, blue-collar label, virtuous farmer, the people of our bustling, prosperous cities, the humble suburban family, and every other core group that defines America. We're going to need all hands on deck. Let's tell the truth. Mr. Reagan will raise taxes, and so will I. He won't tell you I just did, and when he raises taxes, it won't be done fairly. I don't think that's what I want to do. I will renew the push for equal rights no matter your race, ethnicity, sex, or religion. I will not rest until this country is a safe haven for human rights where all God's children can live in peace and harmony. When I go to my second inaugural, oh my gosh, oh boy. 4 years ago, Mr. Reagan promised you'd all be better off, and today the rich are better off, but working Americans are worse off, and the middle class is standing on the trapdoor. Mr. Reagan has used King Kong tactics. If I could read, that's always helpful. Has used King Kong tactics to make the common man take Hong Kong wages. We're going to go renew the push for equal rights. Again, we're going to play to the liberal side of the spectrum. Yeah, there we go. That's exactly what I was going for. No, I'm not going to win. There's no way I can win this. So again, the plan is not to win. We can't. There's no possible way that we can win. So the plan is just going to be to try and do better than Mondale did historically. You have selected the mayor. Could you elaborate a little bit on why you chose her? Well, I get only one answer there. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, where do we want to visit? Let's focus on. I think we got to focus on the Northeast. We could do California. Crime wave has engulfed cities nationwide, with police reporting more arrests, property values lowering, and people fleeing to suburban neighborhoods to escape it. Reagan has received significant criticism for not taking strong measures against it. Will you address this in your campaign in any way? So I think we need to be liberal or hardline on crime. Yeah. We need to remember that my core base is urban and multiracial. Oh, okay. That's a good point. We have to remember a lot of the fears of urban gangs terrorizing the suburbs are racially charged, and that. Yeah, let's do that. We need to. Yeah, so we're going to say that it's his policies are the issue. Yeah. Okay. Former President Jimmy Carter offers his assistance to you on the campaign trail this fall if you want. How about you? So, okay. So here's the thing. Carter, there's a reason why Reagan won so easily and it was kind of so popular is Carter was had some rough times. And I think some of Reagan's appeal was he wasn't Carter. Okay. Former president. Okay, so Jimmy's a good man, good friend, but he's just too unpopular. Yeah, he was not. There was inflation, all sorts of stuff. No. Yeah, we're not gonna. Yeah, we're gonna stick to California. We're gonna try to. Actually, hold on. It's too late now. 47. Yeah, California is becoming a pretty big one. So, how do you plan on attacking the record of your opponent, Ronald Reagan, this campaign season? The recent surge of crime and Mr. Reagan's lack of response to mitigate the effects of it is all the evidence you need. These are long. To prove that he doesn't prioritize the safety of American streets this November, we will elect someone who does something to keep you safe. Mr. Reagan's war on labor unions. I just wanted to see if that was in there. I hate how it organizes. Mr. Reagan's war on labor unions and his reduction on protective tariffs should outrage any decent working man in this country. As president, I will usher in a new heyday of organized labor and staunch protection of American industry. The disastrous fiscal policies championed by Mr. Reagan have triggered a total collapse of the American farm system, causing untold misery for our farmers and their families. Okay. The arms buildup. That one I think is in there. Foreign policy. Means dovish. Yeah, let's do that. Hey, look at that. Nice. Oh, wow, we're doing a little bit better. Abortion is a touchy issue for political candidates, particularly Democrats, feminists, and liberals strongly support it, while Southerners and religious people strongly oppose it. With this in mind, what stance will you take on this divisive issue? I mean, I think we need to support it. Again, we need to go left. Abortion should be safe, legal. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. How are we doing this well? Wait, did I not go as extreme as what I wanted? Oh well. They seem to like it. Several days ago, President Ronald Reagan made an off-the-cuff joke where he claimed that he had signed legislation outlawing Russia forever, and the United States will begin bombing in 5 minutes. Many have expressed alarm over this joke, and Reagan's polling numbers have taken a small hit over the past few days. Will you comment on this political gaffe? The President of the United States just joked about starting a nuclear war. It's criminal to let this slide, especially when the fear of nuclear war is as much as it is right now. Let's attack him on the gaffe relentlessly. This is certainly concerning to hear, especially from someone with the level of authority Mr. Reagan has. The president should be very careful. I like that better. The other one might make us seem a little crazy. I feel like in some people's mind that okay, yeah, it was a joke. Maybe not the best choice of words, but you're acting like okay. Yeah, see, it's not a big deal. That's why I didn't want to go too crazy with it. Yeah, see, we're doing a lot better than what he did historically. Almost a year ago, the United States invaded Grenada and ousted the Marxist military. Yes, they did. Dictatorship that had controlled the Grenadine Grenaded. Government since 1980. Do you believe this invasion was justified? Well, it'll be foreign policy. So we want to go, not really. I certainly don't support the actions of but the justification used was shaky and it said dangerous precedent for future interventions. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I mean, I know that they did, but again, I'm not. Oh boy. Hmm. 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 We lost New York there. I thought that would have. Okay. The Reagan campaign has portrayed you in their speeches and advertisements as a liberal who will raise taxes left and right if elected. Left. Oh, raise taxes. I was thinking left as in the political spectrum. He will raise taxes left and right if elected president. How true are these accusations? I hope the tax increases aren't necessary, but would be irresponsible to rule anything out. No, on the contrary. No. Let's do that. Yeah, that's didn't really, commit to anything there. A crisis caused by overly tight monetary policies has rocked farms across the Midwest, collapsing the segment of the American economy. President Reagan has received substantial criticism for this failing of his administration. How will your campaign address the ongoing crisis? We could have stabilized the situation much earlier with aggressive intervention from the federal government. This is the type of thing I would have. Okay, so we're saying what we would have done. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Let's go back to California. We should be winning that. She's from there. What is your opinion of the U.S. policy in Nicaragua? Another kind of situation. President Reagan has been very vocal in his opposition to the leftist Sandinista government, while others are uncomfortable with his support of the Contra guerrilla group operating within the nation. Contras. If you've heard of those, that's what this is. I would adhere as closely to the Boland. I actually don't know what that is. Boland Amendment as possible, meaning no aid to the. Okay, well, again, I just need to read the rest of the sentence. Meaning no aid to the Contras whatsoever. We must stick to humanitarian aid only. I'm not opposed to giving some aid to the Contras. But we need to make sure our involvement doesn't. We'll do that. I don't know. It sounded like the right thing to do. I don't know. Get out. Leave me alone. Okay. Despite your vigorous campaign, you still trail President Reagan in the polls by a considerable margin as September ends and October begins. As your campaign prepares a huge push to close the gap, are there any issues you want to emphasize in your campaigning? Let's try a new angle. I'll start about the I'll start about the enormous deficit piling up under Reagan and how I will reduce it starting the day one we can have a fiscally responsible America. Foreign policy is winning issue for us. Let's get right back to the campaign trail and campaign on crime, an issue that affects everyone under modern administration. I'll go after it aggressively. And we don't have complete. Let's focus. I want to focus on crime. Yeah. Man, how are we? Of course, is he from Reagan's from California, isn't he? I didn't think about that. I'm going to keep going back to. I'm going to keep going back to it. We'll see if we can get this closed a little bit. We still got some time. What is your general stance on foreign policy, namely towards the Soviet Union? President Reagan has been very aggressive towards the Soviet Union, and many Americans support him, but others oppose his hawkish stances. Frankly, so I don't want to do that. I certainly have my criticism, but it isn't unreasonable to show. We need to reach out to the Soviet Union, reduce level of tension here. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Okay. At 73 years old, Ronald Reagan is the oldest American ever to be president. At the time, he was. He's not anymore. Because of this, some voters doubt his ability to do his job over the next 4 years. Will your campaign address this in any way? Probably won't talk about his age, but it wouldn't hurt to emphasize my relative youth. This could be a landmine. He's practically senile. I don't think we want to do that. That makes it sound. Yeah, let's emphasize my strengths and not his weaknesses on this one. Nice. Okay. We're starting to do better. Go back to. We turn it. We're not really. Yeah. We're not really doing much there. Let's try Illinois. Despite Reverend Jesse Jackson's loss to you in the contentious primary struggle, he put up a strong fight, and he still has an influence over African American voters as the strongest black presidential candidate in American history. Would you be open to meeting with him and discussing policy to secure his endorsement? Oh, absolutely. Of course, we're going to do that. Oh, my Jewish supporters. Yeah, well. But that helped a lot, actually. Targeting specific voter demographics is a great way to swing crucial votes towards you in the fall. Using a combined arms approach of advertisements, appearances, and canvassing. Is there a particular group of voters you would like to court in the following weeks? Factory workers in the Midwest. Where are we close to turning here? Reagan has a huge base of middle-class white suburbanites that would be hard to overcome. We're going to ignore that. Factory workers in the Midwest would be crucial. Oh, already. Okay, it reorders it. Dadgummit. Southern voters. I don't think we're going to turn the Southern vote. I think it's probably. Let's shore up our support in big liberal cities. Yeah, I think that's our best option. Yeah. Yeah. So that really helped in some of those, like especially up in the Northeast. Okay. Oh boy, we're starting to. We might get California. That would be big. What is your stance on the use of capital punishment? Was that an issue? I mean, we're going to oppose it. I think. I personally, at this point, we need to do anything we can to get started. No. We're gonna go completely. That's fine. Oh no, I didn't think about that. That was stupid. That was a stupid answer. I shouldn't have gone so extreme. That was dumb. That was dumb. That was a stupid answer. I should have gone a little bit more. Oppose it, but not call it. That was a mistake. That's my worst answer so far. Will you attend the first presidential debate against President Reagan on October 7th? The topic being debated is domestic and economic. Absolutely. We have to. There we go. There we go. Back to California. Gun control is an important issue this election year, especially with the rising rates of crime nationwide. What is your stance on this issue? We need to get serious about gun control. Yeah, I mean, that's the conservatives aren't going to like it, but that's what we got to go. Yeah, see, it worked. I'm trying to. The red states. I'm gonna just make more red, but that's just. I'm okay with that. Okay. What is your opinion on Reaganomics? The controversial economic policy championed by President Reagan features lower taxes, unrestricted free market activity, and reduced government spending. Okay. Means liberal. Yeah, we gotta go liberal. Okay. Truth is, I support Reagan. No, we don't support. I suppose. I like this last one here. Reaganomics punishes poor and middle class people by taking money from them and giving it to the wealthiest Americans in the form of irresponsibly large tax rates. I would make the wealthiest pay their fair share to maintain our valued social programs while keeping the burden on the average American. Yeah. Yeah. Nice, 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 nice. Let's go back to California. Will Dianne Feinstein participate in the vice presidential debate against Vice President Bush? Yes. Yes. Nice. I didn't do anything, though. Come on, man. What is your opinion on the current rate of defense spending? And would you favor increasing or decreasing it? So this would be, I think, okay. Yeah, moderately reduce it, not drastically. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. What is your stance on the Equal Rights Amendment to the U.S. Constitution? It enjoyed wide support during the 1970s, but support seems to wane a bit in recent years. I support the Equal Rights Amendment, but let's not emphasize it. That way, we can minimize losing moderate and conservative Democrats. I still support. Yeah, I think, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Boy, this is going to be tight on some of these states. We're going to do better, though, than he did, I think. Unless I really fall apart here. A deadly illness called HIV/AIDS. Yeah, in the 80s, huge. It just exploded. Has been spreading rapidly over the past few years, claiming lives of many Americans, particularly homosexuals. President Reagan has been criticized for ignoring its spread, and government infrastructure to prevent and mitigate its effects is non-existent. How will you address this epidemic as you campaign? Uh, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, see, so I didn't say it, but that's exactly why I gave that answer. Was think about even at this time in history, um, California communities in California, New York, very large gay populations, and that's kind of where we're trying to win. Back to California. The press has just recovered copies of a murder manual authored by CIA to show Nicaraguan guerrillas how to kidnap, assassinate, and blackmail political enemies and civilians. With the debate on foreign policy only days away, how much will you emphasize this in your advertisements and stump speeches? I will bring the manual up as much as possible, and even argue the CIA director should resign. We'll talk about. We won't go too crazy with it. Yeah. Will you attend the second presidential debate against President Reagan? The topic of the debate is defense and foreign policy. Yes, I will. Now we have to. Does it matter which one I pick? Okay. Okay. Illinois. In recent years, the nuclear freeze movement has gained traction with the American public. A nuclear freeze would be an agreement between the United States and Soviet Union to halt all deployment. Yeah, I mean, this has come up. This was still a big deal. The Cold War was still going on at this time. I think this was 80-84 is when you had the Olympic boycotts. U.S. boycotted when it was in Russia, and they were successive years. One I forget the order of it. I think 80 was in Russia, and 84 was in the U.S. I think that was the order. U.S. boycotted it when it was in Russia. Russia boycotted it the Soviet Union boycotted it when it was in the United States. So there was still still a lot going on with the Cold War at this time. Not to the heights that you saw, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, but it was still, you're still 84. You're still 5 years away from fall of the Berlin Wall. So, and dissolution of the Soviet Union. So this was still an issue. Do you support this idea? Yeah, we should remove. Yeah, we should work. Yeah. How would you approach tariffs as president? So we're talking trade, trade and economics, liberal, protectionist. Hmm. You can see this is an east-west. West is much more free trade. Yeah, moderate. Yeah, I mean that's yeah. Let's try to build our lead in California. Many nations have started to levy sanctions on South Africa for its horrific apartheid system. So yeah, apartheid is um, in South Africa, as I said. Yeah, this was a big deal at the time. Even continually throughout the 80s. Um, which was just South Africa's version of kind of segregation and discrimination based on race. It was you had the white South Africans running the country, even though they were in the minority in terms of the population, and I think most people are aware of that. Do I support? Do you support these sanctions? Yeah, let's do that. That might backfire. Yeah. Oh no! Oh no! I was doing so well until that question. I should have. I even said it that might backfire, and it did. Okay. As the campaign, you stupid idiot moron. As the campaign enters this last week, are there any particular places you want to focus your efforts? I think we want to go West Coast. We need to kind of turn this back to us. West Coast. Horner Rally. Yeah. Continue. All right. So we're not going to win. That's a given. Remember what we're trying to do is do better than what Mondale did historically, and we're going to do that. I am very confident of that at this point. The question is how much better. I mean, he got 13 electoral votes, and is what happened historically. So, I mean, if we get New York, that we've already done better. Like we just need essentially one state here. Okay, why is it not? Okay. Mm-hmm. There's going to be red all over the place, but and then uh, the popular vote, it was Mondo got 41%. So we're trending a little bit above where he did historically from a popular. Well, pretty much right in line, maybe a little bit up. It was slightly under 40. It rounded up to 41, I think. What did we win? 7. Well, we've already done better. because we got looks like Massachusetts. Yeah, well, of course we did. I mean, that was once. So we did exponentially better than he did in terms of the electoral vote. We did do better from the popular vote perspective as well, by about about 5% better actually than what he did. But yeah, we got 160 more electoral votes than what he did. I wish they put the historical in here. It'd be nice to have that. Oh, right here they do on the good. This is exactly what I was hoping that they would have. I'm glad that they have this now in the in this. We'll have to just do these mods now. This is exactly what I was hoping to see. I didn't have to look it up anymore. You see, I wasn't lying. I said that it was 13 and it was 40, just under 41%. I think I good memory. So yeah, you can see uh, way better than looks like. Okay, so the other folks, the mix was a little bit different, but they came out to be the same percentage. So uh, so we picked up like what's that 5 million ish? Oh wait a minute, wait. Yeah, about five, just under 5 million additional votes. But obviously the big one is the 160 electoral votes. So let's look at the map here, so you can see. So we did get the West Coast, so that was big. We picked up 47 in California, 54, 64. So yeah, by doing that West Coast swing there at the end, that got us. I mean, we may have won those without it, but that solidified us with the. We got 64 votes there. So again, historically, I don't know if DC's on here or not. That's my state. It is. Okay, so we won that. Yeah, that's what happened historically. So historically, Mondale got DC and Minnesota. That's what he got. So we picked up. You can see we won the 3 West Coast states that he didn't. We got Iowa, which he didn't, and then obviously did really well here in the Northeast. I mean, I think I actually think there was actually probably I think I actually probably left a few states on the board there because there were some questions that as I was saying them and as I was doing them, I was like, I think this is the wrong choice, but I did them anyways. But I definitely left some. There's more room here. I think I really do. But this goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of the game. I almost think it's what I just did here. You would think it would be harder because it was such a landslide. I bet you it would actually be harder to replicate what Reagan did. Like you would still win easily. Like you'd still win easily. Like this is still. I mean, he still outdid me. 2.5 to 1 or whatever that math is. No, 2 to 1, not 2.5. Just over 2 to 1. So still would have won, but I don't know if I could go. I don't think I could go through that and only lose Minnesota and DC as Reagan. I really don't. Maybe that's something we'll try down the road. I don't want to do that now because you just watched this election. So maybe what we'll do is once we get through some, we'll revisit some of the ones we've done and do the other side of the equation. But I am wondering now if that would be a harder approach than this. Because it was so lopsided historically that it's like you almost like there was nowhere to go but up. So maybe I was wrong in my thinking about that. So, but we accomplished the goal. We did better than Mondale, which is good. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. We're gonna keep it rolling. We're gonna do some more of these, and not sure what we'll do next. What I'm trying to do is bounce around a little bit historically. I think we've first series we were 1860. Then we did kind of 50 years. No, not 50 years. What? Yeah, 60. Yeah, 50. That's crazy to think that Civil War to 1916 was only 56 years, but it seems like it's longer than that. But so we did 50 years. That's crazy to think. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here. That's crazy to think when you think about it. The election of 1916, which was our last series, 56 years back to the Civil War. It was actually closer to that than the election we just did, which was 60. What was it? 84, 1984. So it was at wait no wait 60. How many years is that? Why am I blanking on this? 1984 to 1916. Was that 68 years? Yeah. So wow, that's crazy. Okay, it just seems interesting. Okay, I think I was more amused by that than you guys would be. I think we're gonna go back in time now. Not sure when, but I have to see what the options are. But I want to go. I want to get back into the 1800s. I think, um, for sure. So we'll just a question of how far back in the 1800s we're going to go. So, all right, that's going to be it for now, though. So come on back and we'll do another one.